So today I want to talk about dealing with toxic friendships. It's difficult enough to identify toxic traits in a friendship. And I think it's even more difficult once you've identified that there is something not quite in place with your friendship. It is also very difficult to deal with it, especially because these people are people we love and care about and we would like to have them in our lives. And also because nobody really wants to lose a friendship. So I feel like this would be a good conversation to have. Let's get started. The first thing I would do is to get my head around it. I would sit down and take a score. I will put down a list of all the good things I think about this friendship and also do a list of all the bad things I think about this friendship. If I realize that the bad outweighs the good, then that would be a good point to really reevaluate and ask myself if I really want to be in this friendship. Some of the things that you can ask yourself is, how do you feel about not having this person in your life, not constantly talking with this person? If you have more good things to gain by letting this go, this friendship, then that means that this is a toxic friendship and you probably need to let it go, or you need to deal with it, with what it is that is ailing your friendship. Sometimes it's not really easy to decide whether this is a friendship to let go or this is a friendship to keep. At this point in time is where I would suggest the second thing you want to do is to speak to a trusted friend who you feel like is unbiased and can be able to give you a clear perspective of how things are. If you don't have such a person, speak to a professional. There are lots of life coaches out here who are trained to help people really look introspectively. One such coach who I have a good experience with and we go way back, is a good friend of mine, is called Christy Bailey. She's a life coach at awakencoaching.com. We go really way back. When I'm having a dilemma, especially with regards to relationships, she really points me back to myself, where I'm looking at what do I need, how do I feel, what's important to me. She gently reminds me to be kind to myself, to be gentle with myself, and to love myself. You realize that most of the time when we make really bad decisions regarding the people we're bringing into our life, if we bring toxic people in our life or people who are hurting us, usually it's because we do not think that we really matter. One of the things that I've really liked about speaking to Christy about stuff, it could just be about anything. By the end of having a conversation, especially if I feel like there's a dilemma, I usually get so much clarity about what decision I will take.
Yeah, I mean, when you find that inner executive who chooses, you're taking a lot of responsibility. So it may seem fluffy that you get to do whatever you want now, but when you choose, you actually become a bigger person.
Yeah. So I really like her style because she's never really making a decision for me. Usually she is just guiding me to make a decision for myself. And so I think it would really help, especially if you feel like you're not really able to, you kind of are hitting a dilemma when it comes to deciding, is this good for me or is it not? It is very important to speak to someone. It could even be your own child, someone who is quite unbiased, and especially someone who cares and loves you. If you don't have somebody to talk to, or you don't have someone you feel like will be very unbiased to you, consider reaching out to a professional. I highly recommend Christy. She has programs on her website. If you don't have enough money to invest in her programs, then you can always benefit from the free resources that she's giving out. So most definitely check out Christy Bailey. She's on Facebook. And also check out the website.
Yeah, just go to awakencoaching.com and I think you'll find what you need there.
Yeah.
Then we can start a conversation.
Exactly. The next thing I would say is give yourself time and space. When you feel like you've identified that this is a friendship that is toxic or something about this friendship is not sitting well with you, take some time, especially time away from this friendship. Give yourself some space. You could tell your friend that you need to work on something that will mean that you will not be able to contact them as often as you do in the next couple of weeks. So that means that your friend will not be left wondering, what's going on? She's not responding to my text. So in so doing, you will have given yourself time and space to really think and consider this particular friendship and really decide whether this is good for you. Sometimes you find that by the time you're realizing a friendship is toxic, there are usually some negative feelings involved. Either you're hurt, you're disappointed, you feel betrayed. So I cannot overemphasize how important it is to give yourself time. Give yourself time, give yourself space to be at a good place where you can actually be able to have a conversation. The last thing that I think should happen is that you need to take a decision. So depending on what you have figured out through taking the score, talking to a trusted friend, giving yourself time and space to really get your head around it. When you get to this point where you feel like everything is clear, you're very ready, you can decide either to distance yourself from this friendship. Sometimes this friendship is important to you and you do not want to lose it. So you might want to take a decision to have a conversation with this person, and maybe that could even strengthen your friendships further. If that fails, if you feel like you've had a conversation and you still did not make any headways, then you can definitely decide to end the friendship. Ending a friendship can be a very difficult thing to do. Expect a backlash, especially from your friend, but give yourself time to mourn the friendship. And once you've mourned your friendship, open yourself up to making new friendships. Friendships are not meant to be forever. If you have a friendship that's running forever, then you are blessed. But usually friendships change because of people drifting apart and growing apart. So ending friendships might be one of the inevitable things that we have to deal with. But there are always new friendships that are coming. And with every new friendship, you bring with you all the lessons that you got from the previous failed friendship. Until next video, tschüss, Wiedersehen, Kwaheri.